Calaroga Shark Media.
From Washington, D.C., where we didn't forget about the Epstein files, this is Ballot.
Distractions! But none of that is working on me. Let's hit this. I'm Patrick Gutfield, and British Foreign Secretary David Lammy took U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance fishing last week at his countryside retreat. One small problem. Neither of them had fishing licenses. Now Lammy is facing a potential $2,500 fine for this diplomatic oversight. Let me get this straight. You're the Foreign Secretary of Britain, you're hosting the American Vice President, and nobody thought to check if you need a fishing license? But here's my favorite part. After they got caught fishing illegally, they held what the press called a chummy press conference. Chummy! That's the most British way to describe two politicians trying to laugh off breaking the law together. Oh yes, we committed a minor crime, but we're rather chummy about it. And Vance, not missing a beat, told reporters, unfortunately, the one strain on the special relationship is that all of my kids caught fish, but the foreign secretary did not. So not only did Lammy break fishing law, he was also terrible at fishing. The fish were returned to the lake unharmed, which means this whole international incident was basically catch and release diplomacy, kind of like our judicial system when it comes to certain felons. Vance tried to get dinner at a fancy British pub called The Bull in Charlbury, but the staff staged a mutiny and refused to serve him. The workers literally told management they wouldn't show up to work if the restaurant accepted his booking. Now here's the kicker. This same pub had just hosted Kamala Harris weeks earlier for a pre-wedding dinner celebrating Steve Jobs' daughter's marriage to a British Olympic equestrian. So Harris gets the royal treatment, but Vance gets the staff rebellion. That's gotta sting a little. The Bull has a Michelin bib gourmand, which is basically a fancy way of saying really good food that won't completely bankrupt you. Though with steaks going for $98, moderate prices apparently means something different in the Cotswolds than it does everywhere else. The locals in Charlbury were so thrilled about Vance's visit that they organized something called Dance Against Vance, a protest featuring placards calling him a war criminal and memes showing him with baby cheeks. Nothing says welcome to the neighborhood like a dance party dedicated to how much they don't want you there. The deputy mayor of nearby Chipping Norton complained that Vance's presence was a curtailment of our freedoms because of all the Secret Service restrictions. Apparently, having the American vice president vacation in your quaint English village comes with some downsides, like not being able to walk wherever you want and having agents knock on your door asking about your Facebook profile. After getting rejected by the pub staff, protested by dancers, and generally making the locals miserable, Vance decided to pack up and head to Scotland. Where did he go? Donald Trump's golf course at Turnberry, naturally. When one Trump property doesn't work out, there's always another Trump property waiting. So to recap, Vance came to England, illegally fished with the foreign secretary, got turned away by mutinous pub workers, faced a dance protest, annoyed an entire village, and ended up at a Trump golf course in Scotland. That's either the worst diplomatic vacation ever or exactly what you'd expect from this administration. President Trump celebrated the 90th anniversary of the Social Security Act at the White House by calling Senator Elizabeth Warren a nutjob who needs to take a drug test. Trump was responding to Warren's claims that he's trying to cut Social Security, which he denied while simultaneously calling her Pocahontas and a mean person. Then he really went off the rails, saying Warren was all hopped up while endorsing a Democratic socialist candidate in New York City. She was all excited and jumping up and down, Trump said. There's no way somebody can act that way and be normal. So let me understand this. Trump thinks Elizabeth Warren needs a drug test because she was enthusiastic about a political candidate? Has he seen his own rallies? The man does 2-hour speeches where he talks about sharks, batteries, and Hannibal Lecter. If enthusiasm at political events is grounds for drug testing, we're going to need a lot more testing facilities. Trump also announced that his administration has kicked 275,000 illegal aliens off Social Security. He said, many of them have already left the country, and yet we were sending them checks all the time. So we were apparently mailing Social Security checks to people who weren't even in the country anymore. That's not a Social Security problem, that's a Postal Service miracle. Also, We didn't forget about the Epstein files, you coward. Portions of today's show were made with the help of AI.
What if the biggest threat to the royal family is the royal family? I'm Mark Francis, host of Palace Intrigue, the daily podcast that goes behind the palace gates and straight into the headlines. Right now, we're digging into Entitled, the bombshell new book that claims Prince Andrew's ties to Jeffrey Epstein run deeper than ever imagined, with espionage, secret deals, and even possibly a Trump massage list. New episodes every day. Follow Palace Intrigue wherever you get your podcasts.
From the creators of Palace Intrigue, a new chapter in royal history begins. William and Kate's wedding captures the world's attention, but royal life isn't as perfect as it seems. Tensions rise as Harry meets Meghan, sparking a divide that will shake the monarchy to its core. From explosive interviews to family scandals, the royal family faces its most public challenges ever. As King Charles takes the throne, the future of the monarchy hangs in the balance. Family secrets, royal rifts, and the future of the crown. Crown and Controversy, wherever you get your podcasts.
From Calaroga Shark Media comes Celebrity Trials, the explosive new podcast that exposes the truth behind America's most captivating cases. I'm Reed Carter, and I'll take you inside real-live daily trials and classic celebrity cases where fame, power, and justice collide. From Jeffrey Epstein's billion-dollar sex trafficking empire to the prep school killer who walked free, from family annihilators to celebrity plea deals. Discover the shocking verdicts, twisted evidence, and cultural forces that shape American justice. These aren't just crimes, they're cultural moments that reveal who we really are. Justice isn't always swift, but it's absolutely riveting. Celebrity Trials, available wherever you get your podcasts.